Inside Racing is brought to you by Dunlop.
Inside Racing, all set for the second stint. Coming up, a parade of legends. Now, the phenomenon of graining. So, out onto the track. This here is intentional. Drifting, sliding, and having fun. It's the way that you very quickly turn a new tire into an old one. The tire is actually meant to last for as long as possible. One sign of the opposite is graining. But what exactly is that?
Graining is where the surface of the tire kind of rips a little bit and you get ridges, and it means the tire is not working very well with the surface. That could be caused through the surface being too cold for the tire, for the compound, or it can be caused through the car not being set up correctly.
Where the graining occurs depends on driving style, circuit and tire compound. When the lateral forces get so high, a benefit becomes a drawback. Warmed up, the sticky running surface meshes with the track. But if skidding causes the running surface to get too hot, and if this happens too often and for too long, it gets hotter than the rest of the tire. This temperature difference is the actual problem, and the result looks like this.
Graining is coming when you have a quite huge lateral acceleration the tire can't manage. Either because we have a compound which is too soft, or we don't have the grip based on the cold conditions or temperature which is not good enough or high enough on your tread. So this is the main reason why we may have some graining. Most of the time graining is occurring on the front.
The more the driver has to battle, the more rubber gets left on the track and also on the tire itself.
I had a little bit of graining on the front left. The graining comes when you don't have enough grip, you don't have enough temperature, you turn in a little bit of understeering, the tire slides over the compound, and then you get a little bit of sliding, and then it comes, how can I say, yeah, grainy. I mean, that is, you have to see, but it comes a little bit of grainy on the tire, and it shows you have a little bit of sliding.
Just like an eraser, a tire does indeed rub off an outer layer of rubber from its cool carcass as it skids. And because the shavings are hot, they immediately stick again and end up back on the tire. The result is a tire covered in tiny bits of rubber with very poor handling. The car understeers more and more and increases the effect. In the battle for places, trophies and honor, the drivers therefore have to be kind to their tires. The cannier ones win, while the others need new tires sooner and have to pit. Tires with a tread also suffer wear.
Wear is one important parameter we have to take into account during a race. Most of the time is going to affect the front-rear balance, so it means you may generate some understeer, some oversteer, so it means a behavior of the vehicle which is not linear and which is quite difficult to manage for the driver. So this is where wear is occurring after laps, few laps.
When treaded tires skid on asphalt, the edges of the blocks of tread get badly worn and rounded down. Steering precision suffers and the tire literally wears away. So, always go gently? No. But in racing, being kind to tires does make sense, although some exceptions have to be allowed. The birthplace of many a motor racing gene, Stuttgart celebrates 125 years of motoring. Moving ahead with a look at the past, Stuttgart celebrates 125 years of the motor car. Mercedes, Audi and Porsche, three mates, 3 times motorsport history par excellence. In the parade, the first forefather of endurance racing. The Mercedes Simplex won the 1902 Nice-La Turbie hill climb in record time.
I'm very, very proud. Obviously the first ever Mercedes-Benz car. It's not easy at all. The brake and the clutch are the opposite way around. It's not so easy to change gear, so it's going to be a real challenge today.
All totted up, nearly 4,000 years rolling here along the course. A host of classic cars, rumbling lorries, colourful buses, notable luxury carriages, and legendary racing cars from every decade. The Silver Arrows, transported in those days from Silverstone to Tripoli on the back of the Blue Wonder. It's crazy the sort of vehicles they used to take to the races. With the racing car up on top, that's fantastic. Today they have huge Arctic trucks. The way it was back then is hard to imagine. Myself, I also still go to the DTM with a trailer and a tent. When you see what goes on there today, it's really incredible. Good wishes for the anniversary came from many areas. World boxing champions and Wimbledon winners on the trail of motorsport history. Their favorite cars as varied as the sports themselves. I was driving an old 300 SL Gullwing, which was also not bad, don't you think? But I have to admit, you did better. I like yours a lot. The color too, chocolate brown, very nice. Yeah, very nice. At 5.5 million euro, the most valuable in the field. Supercharged endurance power in gangster limo look.
It's very special. You have to behave really nicely with the car, with the gearbox. It's very special. You have to do a double clutch between the gears, which is really old-fashioned driving basically, but still interesting for me to drive a new way.
Monster truck racing as a second string to his bow. World heavyweight boxing champion Vitali Klitschko and his 40-tonner. A real hit.
It's allowed 7-8 feet high, and to go in is not easy, and not easy go out. It's special feeling. It's special feeling to drive, and I never drive with so huge big car like this one in my life. It's a special experience. I never forget this experience, never ever.
The 8th wonder of the world broke the 200 kilometers per hour mark. Its great-grandchildren compete on the track using electric motors.
Well, it's obviously a very big gap, but if you look at the first automobile that's here too today, and if you look at the Smart, I think it's showing quite clear where the future goes and the direction of having a clean and green car, and I think that's a perfect example to show that.
Emotion, tradition, fascination. Over 100 years of motorsport technology in the fast lane. That was our latest edition of Inside Racing. Don't miss on the next show, Luxembourg's Mustang Rider, plus Fast Ragazzi at the CITS in Imola. Experience motorsport close up with Inside Racing.
Superb grip and excellent braking at high speed. Inside Racing was brought to you by Dunlop.